Hello all. Today we are going to take a look on counters. What do you mean by counter? Counter, it is used for the counting purpose. So, what will happen when the counter works? Let's see. A counter is a circuit that produces a set of unique output states responding to the number of applied input pulses. So, based on your input, the counter will make a set of unique states, that are the output states. Based on the number of that output state, a counter is doing its counting operation. Okay, the number of that unique output state of a counter is known as the modulus or the mode number of a counter. Moving on to its classification, counters are of two types. One is asynchronous, second one is synchronous. You can see synchronous is nothing but you are providing a clock pulse externally to all the flip-flop so that you can clock the flip-flop simultaneously. And considering asynchronous counter, you can see you are providing the input clock pulse only for the first flip-flop, and the each successive flip-flops are clocked by the output of the preceding flip-flop. Okay, this is all about synchronous and asynchronous counters. Then we are going to take a look on two asynchronous counters. First one is 3-bit up-down counter. Let's see what is 3-bit up-down counter. It is a category of asynchronous counter, 3-bit up-down counter, and here you are doing the counting in upward and downward direction. Of course, you are providing 3-bit for this counter, so you can count up from 000 to 111, that is 0 to 7, which includes 8 counts. Okay, that will be the counting or the number of unique states for a 3-bit up-down counter. Okay, here you can see you have to do up and down counting on, and for that you should give an input value for up counting as well as for down counting. Here we are using m as that input value. If m value equal to 0, then the counter will count down. Counting down means the counter will start from 000 and moving to 111. If you are doing the counting operation in a down manner, that is m equal to 0, then you will move from 000 to 111, then moves on till reaching 000 again. Okay, then if you are giving the m value as 1, then you are starting from 000 and moving to 001, then moving to 010, normal counting order, and you will reach at last 000. Okay, this will be the up counting and down counting for a 3-bit up down counter. For that purpose, doing the up and down counting, you are providing a bit m. If m equal to 0, then down counting. If m equal to 1, then up counting. Normal procedure for designing a counter consists of 5 steps. First one, you have to draw the state diagram. Then you have to write the excitation table. Then next state table. Fourth step is drawing the K-map and simplifying, getting the equation. Fifth step, based on the equation, you have to plot the circuit diagram for that counter. So here we are doing the first step of drawing the state diagram. This will be like this. Okay, the state diagram shows that moving off, there are 8 output states present here: 000, 001, 010, and till 111. Okay, if you are doing up counting, you are moving from 000 to 001, and then to 010, then 011. Likewise, if you are doing down counting, you will move from 000 to 111, then 110, then 101 likewise, and you will reach at last 000 itself. So here you have to represent the two movements, up counting and out counting as well, using this arrow. Okay, the first step is completed. Then you have to draw the excitation table of JK flip-flop. Here you can see the excitation table of the JK flip-flop. Here the counter is implemented with JK flip-flop. That's why we are writing the excitation table of JK. We know how the truth table of simple JK flip-flop. Okay, normal JK flip-flop. Here the excitation table is just the reverse of the truth table of JK flip-flop. Here you can see the 0 value is mapped to 0 and 0 value is mapped to 1 and 1 is mapped to 0 and 1 is mapped to 1. Okay, this combination gives you the first set of value, gives you the present state, that is moves to next state, that is 0 of the present state. 0 is the present state of a flip-flop which is moved to 0, and 0 is the present state of the flip-flop and which is moved to 1 as a next state. Then present state is 1, next state is 0, then present state is 1, then next state is 1. This is the representation of 0 to 1, 0 to 1, then 1 to 0, 1 to 1 means. Okay, based on this change from the present state to next stage, what should be the input value you are providing for J and K? This is what represented in the excitation table. If you are if the present state is 0 and which moves to 0 as the next stage, then J value, applied J value will be 0 and K value will be don't care. If you are in the present state of 0 and moving to 1 as next state, then J value will be 1 and K value will be don't care at that time. Okay, likewise we are filling this. We are not studying the detailed version of this excitation table, only the excitation table itself. So you have to understand the table, and based on that you have to do the next state table, which comes next step of the counter design. Okay, and you have to understand and thorough with this excitation table. You can study like this. Don't care is a default part. For the first two cases, don't care is for K input, and for the last two cases, don't care is for. And you can note the values like the next state is as represented in J section. So first two cases, next case is 0, 1, 0 and 1 for the first two cases, that is represented in J also. 0 is mapped to 0, 1 is mapped to 1. Okay, moving on to the last two input section, you can see the next state value 0 and 1, which is negated. The negation of 0 and 1 is taken for the K value, K section. So 0 is mapped to 1, 1 is mapped to 0. Likewise, you can remember the excitation table. Okay, moving on to the next step, that is the third step, that is the next state table representation. Here, this is the next state table representation. You can see here we are having 8 plus 8, 16 combination of values of states, like state changes. Okay, if you are providing the m value as 0, you are doing the down counting. Okay, which is also started from 000 and moving to 111. You can fill that section using the state diagram. Okay, here let's have a look on what is happening. Okay, this section, first of all, you should write the combination of 0 as 1. In case of m, if you're providing the value of m as 0, you will be getting 8 combination. If you're providing the value of 1 also, you will be getting 8 combinations. Okay. Uh, for the first time, if you're providing m equal to 0, then the present state will be 000. We are always starting with 000. Okay, then 000 is moved to 111. You can see that by checking with the state diagram. 000 is moved to 111. Okay, then here now we are in the 111 state. So for the next condition, you are rewriting 111, and that will be the present state. From there, the next state will be 110, and you are reached 110. Now 110 is the present state, and then moving to 101. Then you are moved to 101. You are at 101. Then the present state is 101 and moving to 100. Likewise, you are filling up the until you are getting the next state as 000. This is the way of representing the down count combination. You can write it as simply as possible by looking the state diagram. Okay, considering the next section of m equal to 1, you can see you have started with 000 and moving on to 001. Now you are in 001, so the present state is 001. Moving to 010 as next state. Now you are in 010, that is your present state is 010, and then from there to you are moving 011 location. Okay, likewise the state diagram will continue until you reach the present state as 111 and next state as 000. Like this, you have to write the m present state and next state values. Okay, in present state there are 3 bits. Also in next state there are also 3 bits. So representing each bit, you are using a variable like q0, q1 and q2. Okay, q2, q1, q0 is the representation for 3 bits in present state as well as the next state. Okay, moving on to the output section of this state diagram, next state table. You can see the value of j2 and k2. You can see j1 and k1 and j0 and k0 is there. And ഇവിടെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും നമ്മളുടെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് വന്നേക്കുന്നത്, എവിടെയാണ് ഈ എക്സൈറ്റേഷൻ ടേബിൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇവിടെ നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ j2 ആൻഡ് k2 നിങ്ങൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ആ എക്സൈറ്റേഷൻ ടേബിളിലെ വാല്യൂസ് ആണ് നിങ്ങളിവിടെ പ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. ഓക്കെ, ലെറ്റ്സ് സീ വാട്ട്സ് ഹാപ്പനിങ്. Consider the q2 value of the present state and compare that with the next state. Okay, q2 of the present state is comparing with the q2 of next state. That is, q2 value of the present state is 0, which is transferred as 1 in the next state. Okay, here the 0 to 1 transition is happening. So what will be the j and k values? If you are doing the 0 to 1 transition, you can see the j value will be 1 and k value will be don't care. This is what we plotted on j2 and k2. Okay, then comparing the q1 of the present and next state. So q1 is 0 for the present state, q1 is 1 for the next state. So here also 0 to 1 changing is there. So j1 and k1 will be 1 and don't care. Compare the q0 and q0 of the present and next state. You can see 0 to 1 change, that is 1 don't care. Okay, moving on to next section, that is 111 and 110. You can compare here. For 111 and 110, q2 will be 1 for the present state and q2 will be 1 for the next state. So 1 to 1 change. What will happen? You can see if the present state is changed, present state is 1 which is changed to 1, then the don't care 0 will be the combination of j and k. That is what we represented j2 in and k2. Don't care and 0 is represented in j2 and k2 for the second time. Okay, then moving on to the q1 of the present state. You can see one-to-one combination again. One-to-one changing is again. So don't care 0 is repeating for J1 and K1. Then moving on to the moving on to next one, Q0. Q0 for the present state is 1 and the next state will be 0. So 1 to 0 is the change. So don't care 1 will be the J0 K0 value for the second time. Okay, like this you have to fill the all the 16 representation. Okay, J2 K2 J1 and K1, J0 and K0 should be filled for the 16 cases. You will be getting a table like this. This is your next state table. The labeling is important here. Based on this particular table you are going to plot the K-map. Okay, for representing the present state and next state, you can depend on the state diagram. Based on that, you can write it down. Once you get a next state, that will be the present state for the another choice, another combination or another movement. Okay, this is all about our next state table. Moving on to the K-map section, that is the fourth step of this counter designing procedure. You have to note down all the output equations. So for that you have to write down or plot the K-map for J2, K2, J1, K1 and J0, K0. There will be 6 K-maps you have to plot. You have to plot only the 1 and the don't care value. No need to plot the 0 on the K-map. You will be getting a K-map like this. This is a K-map of 4-bit value. Here you are plotting M, Q2 and Q1, Q0, the 4 combinations. By looking the state table, you can see there are Q2, Q1, Q0 values for present as well as the next state. This is important. You should remember that you are plotting the present state in a K-map. Okay, M value with a present state is the plotting points for the K-map, and you're plotting the values of J2 in the K-map. That is, it is named as K-map for J2. Here plotting locations are M, Q2, Q1, Q0. Q2, Q1, Q0 will be your present state value, not the next state value. It is the present state value. Okay. For the first case, J2 is 0, 4 0 combinations. That is present state is 000 and M is 0. So you are plotting 000 combination of J2 as 1 like this, and you are plotting all the don't care values just like a simply we studied about the K-map plotting. You should maintain the pattern of M, Q2, Q1, Q0 and plot it. You will get the result as just like this. You are getting 2 groups. You can group the one individually as a member, but it is all the time it is good to group 2 or 4 members in a group. So here the grouping can be possible with two members, one and a don't care. You can use for the reduction of a term in a reduction of a variable in a term. So you will be getting 2 groups, and 2 groups are being solved here using, you can see the how we are solving this. For the first group you can see M bar, Q1 bar, Q0 bar will be your result. Here all the terms are 0 and Q2 is cancelled, and for the next group you can see M, Q1, Q0 will be your result. Q2 here, Q2 is here cancelled, and the all the values are 1. That's why M, Q1 and Q0. You can see the 2 equations, 2 terms should be OR gated, which will be the XNOR result of this particular term. That's why you are getting the result of J2 as J2 equal to M XOR Q1 XOR Q0 whole bar, which indicates the XNOR gate operation. Okay, you are getting the J2 value, J2 equation here. Similarly, you can plot the value of J K2 also, which will be like this. J2 and K2, you can see J2 and K2 having the same uh, procedure for grouping as well, getting the same result as solution. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat this again. Okay, moving on to the J1, you can see you have to plot the one values and don't care values for J1. All the 16 cases should be considered and should be plotted, all the one and don't care in a K-map. As I said before, you are getting a group like this. You have to group the members that are on the edges. If you can group the members that are on edges if they are present horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. Diagonal grouping is not possible, so you can group the members in edges horizontally or vertically. That is why we are doing this kind of grouping. For the second group, it is a normal one. You can group with two ones, but as I already said, if you are adding more members in a group, you can reduce the variables in a term. That's why we are grouping two ones and two don't care to get a group. Okay, you are solving the two groups and you will get the result m bar q0 bar and m q0. This is another XNOR operation, that is m XNOR q0. You are getting the result like this. This is the same for the K1. You can see the same result is getting here also. The same type of grouping is happening here, you can see. And moving on to the J0 and K0, you can you will get K-map like this. That is J0. All the locations of J0 K-map filled with either 1 or don't care. There is no 0. So you can simply write J0 equal to 1, and this is what happened for the K0 also. So K0 equal to 1. You can plot the equation like that. Here is the circuit diagram of our 3-bit up-down counter. Here you are implementing J2 K2, J1 K1, J0 K0. So 3 flip-flops should be used here, and J0 K0 values are 1. So you are providing the input as high, and then you have to provide a clock for the first flip-flop, external clock for the first flip-flop only. And this is an asynchronous counter, so the flip-flop, the preceding flip-flop will get the input from the succeeding one. So you can see the value of Q0 bar is moved to the second flip-flop as a clock value, and you can see Q1 bar is moved as a clock for the third flip-flop. Okay, and you have to you are getting Q0 as a first flip-flop result, which is taken as output. And for J1 K1 you have to implement the XNOR operation for M and Q0. That is what doing here, and the result is mapped to J1 and K1 as well, and the result is Q1 which is taken as output, and Q1 bar is the clock for the third flip-flop, which is used as a clock. Considering J2 and K2, you have to do the XNOR operation for M, X1 and X0. This is what doing here. The result is moved to J2 and K2 as well. You are getting the result of Q2 as output. There is no other flip-flops. So Q2 bar is not taken for the clocking purpose. Okay, this is all about the circuit diagram representation. We have gone through all the 5 stages, and we have plotted the circuit diagram for 3-bit up-down counter. This is all about first asynchronous counter, that is 3-bit up-down counter. Then the next counter you have to study is decade counter. Decade counter is the circuit which is nothing but it can only count up to 9. As soon as the sequence 10 which represented in binary form 10 and 10, when 1010 occurs, the output of the NAND gate becomes 0 and the result of the flip-flops counting start again from 0. So this counter should count from from 0 to 9 only. When the count moving to 10, that is the binary representation will be 1010, you have to do resetting of this counter. Here there are 4 digits, so you have to plot 4 flip-flops. Due to the space problem, I'm drawing the fourth one as thin as possible. You can draw it accordingly. You have to draw the 4 flip-flops, so draw it accordingly. Okay, let's move on to the truth table. Then only you will understand what is a decade counter. Okay, if you are providing the first clock, the result will be 0 for all the outputs. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 will be your output. Clock will be the input value. Okay, if you are providing clock as 0, the first clock, there is no change. If you are giving first clock, then Q1 will be indicated and sorry, Q0 will be indicated. For the case of 2, Q1 will be indicated. For the case of 3, Q1 and Q0 will be indicated. It is all like representation of a number in a 4-bit form, 4-bit binary form. You can see it is. Fourth one will be 0 1 0 0. Fifth one will be 0 1 0 1. Sixth will be 0 1 1 0. Seventh will be 0 1 0 1 1 1. Okay, eighth one will be 1 0 0 0. Ninth one will be 1 0 0 1. And the 10th doing the reset operation. So if you are provided 10 clock, the flip-flop should be reset. So the values will be 0 for all the output sections. Okay, to implement this particular thing, you can connect the values of Q1 and Q0, sorry, Q1 and Q3 as input of a NAND gate. Okay, why you are considering Q1 and Q3? Because 0 1 0 1 is the combination or the binary representation of 10. So the values of Q1 and Q3 is becoming 1 at a time. Then what will happen? The representation of 10 10 will be on the counter. When the representation of 10 and 10 should happen, you have to do the reset operation. Okay, you can see 10 10 is the combination. Okay, and you are representing it in a terms. Q3 will be 1, Q2 will be 0, Q1 will be 1, Q0 will be 0. This is the variable form representation. You can see Q3 and Q1 is 1. Then the value of the counter will be the representation of 10. That you should avoid. For that purpose, Q1 and Q3 is connected to a NAND gate. So whenever the Q1 and Q3 value is become high, the NAND gate will work and the result will be 0. And that value is connected to all the flip-flops. So the 0 value is connected to all flip-flop, makes all the flip-flops to reset. This is what happening in decade counter. You are counting from 0 to 9. Whenever the 10th count applies, 10th clock is applied, the value of Q1 and Q3 become 1. So the Q3 and Q1 is connected to a NAND gate. So the result of NAND gate is 0. That will be passed to all the flip-flops. You can see it is connected with a red line. It is connected to all the flip-flop, and all the 4 flip-flop get reset, and the value counting will be set to 0 again from the beginning. Okay, this is all about decade counter. We were studied about what is counter and asynchronous synchronous counter. We have taken a look on asynchronous counter. First one is 3-bit up down counter, then decade counter. This is all about asynchronous counter. Okay, let's stop here. Thank you.